From Salt Lake City, this is City SC. Utah U19 boys taking on UDA, Game 3 of the Premier Cup. City SC in navy blue and UDA in white. Ball at the feet of Rhodes. Rhodes back over to the left-hand side, over to Josh. Josh up the gut, trying to get it over to Brody. No, sorry, that's Jason. Jason kicks it all the way back over to Jake. And that ball reaches down and recovered by UDA. Will scrambles it over, try to get it over to Caleb, not there. Nash trying to get in on it, cleared out by White. And Josh is able to settle the ball down the left-hand side over to Nash. Nash back over to Lau, or Lau to Jmo. Jmo up in the center to Caleb. Caleb on the right-hand side to Brody. Brody on the left trying to get over to Nash. Dispossessed by White. Defeated the ball of Lau. Lau on the left-hand side over to Caleb. Caleb to Will. Sliding in, it comes White. Saves the ball. It is shot down on the ground and covered up by the UDA keeper. That was Caleb with the shot on goal. Eli trying to get in on there, dislodge the ball. He does temporarily. Will using his body. Ball goes out of bounds. The call is White throw-in. Ball thrown in quickly to the feet of Brody. Brody to Caleb. Caleb on the left-hand side trying to get to Nash. Nash does get there. Nash centers. Chips it to Caleb, unable to connect, cleared out by White. White clears it over the far right-hand side, and that ball will roll to the bottom of the middle third on the left-hand side. Jake coming all the way out to get it, gives it over to Josh. Josh up the left channel to Jason. Jason to Nash. Nash brings the ball more into the center, gives it to Jmo. Jmo to Lau. Lau lays it off on the right-hand side over to Rhodes. Rhodes to Jmo. Jmo lobs it up, trying to get over to Caleb. Brought down by White. Will got a touch on it, but then cleared out by White again. Rhodes on the right-hand side plays it back to Jake. Keeps the ball on the left-hand side to Josh now. Josh just before midfield crosses the ball over to Brody. Brody to Will. Will lays it off over to Jmo. Jmo to Brody. Brody dekes a man, moves back to the left-hand side, puts it up to Jmo, 1-2 on the left, swung over to the left-hand side over to Nash, intercepted and cleared out by White, headed away by Josh. White will recover again. Jason getting a foot on there. White will emerge with the ball on the right-hand side. Josh recovers just before it goes out of bounds. Nash with the ball at his feet, plays it to Brody. Brody lets it roll through over to Jmo. Jmo up the center over to Caleb. Caleb through ball, but no runner. Picked up by the UDA keeper over on the left-hand side. Ball played wide left. Eli challenging. Ball cleared out by Lau, and it will be, the call is blue throw-in. Jmo throws the ball into Lau. Lau swings the ball over to the left-hand side over to Jason. Jason down the left channel over to Nash. A little bit ahead of him, but he's able to get there. Nash cuts back over. Ball kicked out of bounds by White. It'll be blue throw-in. Jason to Will. Back to Jason. Back to Will. And then Jason. Jason crosses in the center almost to Jmo. Shoots. Diving to the left-hand side. Shot on goal by Jmo. Stopped by the keeper who dove to his left on the ground. And White brings the ball up to the bottom of the middle third, right-hand side. Keeping it on the right. Pass deflected and out of bounds off of Jason. White throws the ball down the right line. Jason dislodges it, falls down, no foul called. And there's a pushing foul called against White. It will be City's free kick in front of the white bench. Everyone but Rhodes moving up. Lau walking into the center of the pitch for an easy outlet. And Jason looking to put this ball into the box. Bending down off of Caleb's shot. And it'll be scooped up on the bottom left-hand side of the goal. Drop kick coming from UDA. Rhodes heads the ball down. White gets there first. Lau, not there, no. White recovers. And a foul called against Nash. Ball kicked up high into the center, headed away by Rhodes, brought down by White, down the left-hand line, inside the attacking third. Rhodes flicks it back over to Jake. Jake up the center to Jmo. Jmo trying to find Eli, Nash on the right-hand side. Nash back to Eli, Eli to Rhodes. Rhodes swings it to the left-hand side over to Josh. Josh down the left channel to Brody. Brody plays it in the center to Jmo. Jmo crossing midfield, plays it in front of Lau, too much, and cleared out by White. And it will roll to the arms of Jake, standing in the middle of his box, rolls it over to Josh. Josh to Jason, Brody. To Rhodes. In the middle up to Will. Will over the left-hand side to Brody. Brody threw ball over to Will, and it's stopped outside of the box.
That's a red. He's on goal. That's a red. He's on goal there. Yeah, if he doesn't pick it up, it's a goal. Yeah, that's gotta be great.
The ball is placed outside the box.
It's outside the box, but it's not so.
So it looks like it'll be Josh taking the free kick from the left-hand side. Josh scored in the first game of the Premier Cup from a similar situation. Here's the kick as Brody taking it down low, cleared against the wall. Headed away by Jason over to the right-hand side. White will pick it up. Nash on defense. Ball swung over to the far right-hand side. And I believe that is Jason who went down. And Jason looks to be hurt. Free kick from Josh to Lau. Lau keeps the ball, plays the ball back over to Jason. Jason takes on a man, lays it off over to Rhodes. Rhodes just before midfield, plays it laterally left to Josh. Josh gets it up over to Brody. Brody circles back, gives it to Josh. Josh, left-footed cross up high into the center, trying to get over to Jmo. Jmo's able to recover, lays it off over to Brody. Brody slows the pace down, gets it to Jason. Jason back to Brody, now to Jason. Jason over to Nash, who flicked it, a trivela flick with his right foot, stopped on the ground by the UDA keeper, who's keeping UDA in the game so far. Ball headed away by Josh. White gets there first. Kept in bounds, just a midfield on the right-hand side. A nice 1-2 combination. Josh gets in there. White breaks through. White inside the attacking third, inside the box, crossed over. No. Josh with the stuff. And the call is goal kick, much to the dismay of UDA. Ball rolled out to the left-hand side over to Jason. Jason to Caleb. Caleb's pass deflected and cleared out of bounds by White. It will be blue throw-in. Jason to Josh. Josh to Rhodes. Rhodes to Eli. Eli to Nash. Nash circles through, puts it in the center over to Jmo. Jmo looking for some help, cuts back over to the right-hand side, slings it over to Will. Will plays it back over to Nash. Nash lays it forward over to Caleb, and it's cleared out of the last second of the top right corner, and it rolls just to the right-hand side. It'll be a throw-in for blue, right by the corner flag. Looks like the call was changed to a corner kick based on how everyone's moving around. Jmo gives the signal. 2 steps, ball gonna go well far wide, brought down by Lau, flicks it back in the center, headed away by Josh, brought down in the box, cleared. Will flicks it back over to the right-hand side over to Jmo. Jmo centers the ball, slows it down, moves over to the right-hand side against the baseline, taking on 2 men, looking to cross it, and it hits the top left crossbar and goes out of bounds. It will be goal kick for White. Ball kicked up. White gets there first, brought down by Brody. Brody lays it over the left-hand side over to Nash. Nash to Will. Will to Caleb. Caleb just behind him. And White is able to get out of their defensive third, entering the middle third on the right-hand side, cutting back into the center. Ball swung over to the far left-hand side, and it is going to roll out of bounds. It'll be city throw-in by their bottom right corner flag. Ball thrown in by Eli to Jake. Jake crosses it in front of his own goal to Josh. Josh up to Nash. Nash to Jason. Jason on the left-hand flank over to Caleb. Caleb is able to get there first and is dispossessed. Ball going out of bounds. It'll be blue throw-in. Jason throws the ball to Nash, back to Jason, back to Nash. Nash lays it off over to Caleb. Caleb plays it back to Jmo. Jmo to Lau. Lau swinging over the right-hand side over to Eli. Eli just outside the box, plays it safe, gives it to Rhodes. Rhodes to Will. Will under pressure, taking on 2 men, cuts the ball back against the right-hand line, plays it to Eli. Eli plays it in the middle over to Brody. Brody swings it left over to Nash. Nash shoots and deflected. No, call is goal kick. Ball kicked to the left-hand side for White. White. Sliding tackle there by Jmo. White will recover. White up to their forwards on the left-hand side, playing it into the center. Playing it now over to the right-hand side, retreating slightly. In front of the city bench, dispossessed. Nash challenging for the ball. White gets it, brings it into the center. Now over to the right-hand side. And then chipped up high into the center, headed away by Rhodes. And nobody really with possession there. Nash emerging with the ball from Lau. Lau to Caleb. Caleb against the far left-hand side at midfield, gets it to Brody. Brody circling back, looking for some help to Josh. Josh to Caleb. Caleb at midfield, trying to get it over to Will. Will gets it away, and it's just too much. It'll be goal kick. Ball back in play for White. Reaches midfield. Dislodged, and Jason will emerge with it on the left-hand side. Jason plays it up to Will. Will feigns a pass, moves over to the center, gives it to Brody. Brody at the top of the box. Shot! Stopped at the top left corner, cleared out by White. Brody hustling down. White gets there first. White brings the ball in the bottom of the middle center, swinging it over the far right-hand side to a runner who is onside and kicked it out of bounds. It'll be blue throw-in. White taking a moment to make a few substitutes. Jason throws the ball back to Josh. Josh to Jake. Jake to the right-hand side to Rhodes. Rhodes up to Jmo. Jmo surrounded to Eli. Eli. Pass dispossessed, recovered by White. Eli with pressure. Ball moved into the center. And a foul called against Caleb. It'll be a free kick. The top of the middle third, left-hand side for White. Brody has a one-man wall. Here's the kick from UDA, kicked up high to the right-hand side. Josh is able to connect with his head. White will recover first, though. White circles back, looking for some help. Plays it on the right-hand side. Dispossessed. Nash rushing to get that ball. Nash bringing the ball into the center. Nash plays it wide right over to Will, and Will is unable to keep it in bounds. It'll be White throwing. And it looks like City is going to make some substitutes. Jason coming off. Tate coming on. Will coming off. Jmo coming off. Kai coming on. Nash coming off. Jex coming on, and Brock Alleman coming on. Returning to the White throw-in. Kicked up by White. Eli brings it back down to Kai. Kai to Brody. Brody bringing the ball into the center. Bodied away. No foul called. White recovers. White down the left flank. And Rhodes clears that one up. Gets it up over to Brock Alleman. White will recover. And that ball will roll all the way to Jake. Eats it out over to Tate. Tate on the left-hand side. Left-footed pass down the left flank. It will be scooped up by the UDA keeper. Josh brings that ball down. White hustles to it. White stopped by Rhodes. Rhodes kicks in the middle over to Lau. Lau brings the ball up. Ooh, almost dispossessed. He was. White on the left-hand side. Lau bodies and gets it to Brody. Brody back in the center, looking for Kai. He passed it to himself. Brody got all the way over there. Lau with the interception to Kai. Kai to Brody. Brody past midfield and a little bit too much. White on the left-hand side now. Played up into the center. Ball gets through and Jake will be there to scoop it up. Ball rolled over to the left-hand side over to Tate. Tate, middle third, plays it wide left over to Jex. Jex tried to get to Brock Alleman, not there, cleared out by White. Jex puts the ball down on the ground and gets it to Tate. Tate resets back over to Jake. Jake changes the pitch, changes the ball over to Rhodes. Rhodes in the center to Lau. Lau moving back, gets it over to Josh. Josh to Kai, to Lau. Lau, high kick on the far left-hand side, and will be scooped up on the left by the UDA keeper. Ball crossed to the left-hand side, and it goes out of bounds. It'll be blue throw in, a couple of substitutions for both teams.
Yeah, bro.
Sebastian coming on, Brody coming off.
Start moving the ball. Yeah, keep possession. No reason to force that. Here we go. Play what's there. Play. Simple. All right, you have to wait for it.
Eli back to Rhodes. Rhodes to Josh. Josh back to Jake. To Josh. Josh up in the middle over to Sebastian. Sebastian plays it back to Rhodes. Rhodes to the right-hand side to Eli. Eli one touch back into Lau. Lau dodges a tackle, gets it to Eli. Eli back in the center. His pass is intercepted by White. And Sebastian slows things down, but White inside the attacking third, playing it over to the far right-hand side. Shot, and it goes in. White goes up 1-0.
Let's go, boys! Come on! Come on! Come on, with everything, it's not over yet, come on! Intensity, yeah, no, don't push too inside.
And blue is going to make a couple of subs. Lau coming off, Brock coming off, Jason coming on, and Jmo also coming on. Ball back in play, kickoff for blue.
Come on!
Eli to Jmo. Jmo to Eli. Eli in the center to Tate. Tate to Caleb. Caleb to Eli. Eli to Jmo. Jmo switches the field to the far left-hand side looking for Jason. Jason connects with the ball. Gets it to Jex. Jex to Brock Alleman. Brock. Ball played to Josh. Josh moves the ball up to midfield, chips it up high. No runner, and it'll roll to the feet of the UDA keeper. Ball at the feet of the UDA defensive line. Jex challenging. Ball will be intercepted by Jason and Kai. Jason recovers the ball, gets it to Josh. Josh intended for Kai, not there. And Jake coming out and chips that ball up high to the far left-hand side over the heads of Sebas. Jex gets a header on it, headed down by Kai to Tate to Josh. Josh to Jmo. Tate. Eli. To Jake. To Josh. To Tate. To Jex. Sorry, Jason on the left-hand side. Jason dodges a tackle, still with the ball, gets it. No, pass intended for Jex was intercepted. White now with the ball on the right-hand side. Kai challenging for the ball. And Kai resets it back to Jake. Jake swings it over the right-hand side over to Eli. Eli down on the ground to Sebas. Ball kicked out of bounds. It will be blue throw-in.
Wide open, bro.
Costa, you're on 10. Marcos, you're up here, bro.
Bro, we're dropping.
You got Jmo.
Eli to Jmo. Jmo holds the ball. Kicks it up to the far right-hand side. Looking for Brock. Brock is going to challenge for it. He gets, no, rolls out of bounds. Blue throw in. Throws it over to Sebas. Sebas turns, sliding tackle. White recovers. Dinked up for White. And then cleared up. And it'll go all the way to Jake, who kicks it to the left-hand side. Headed up by White. Jex challenging. Getting the ball to the feet of Jason. Jason down on the ground to Kai. No, Sebas. Sebas lays it off on the right-hand side over to Eli. Eli, soft pass, intercepted by White. And Josh coming in there. White still gets it. It's going to be too heavy. And Jake kicks it over the left-hand side back over to Josh. Josh wide left to Jason. Jason back to Josh, to Sebas, to Josh. Up the gut a little bit more to Kai. Top of the circle on the right-hand side, swings it right over to Caleb. Caleb cuts on the inside, dodges 3 tackles, flicks it over to the right-hand side over to Brock. Brock cuts back, it's kicked out of bounds. It'll be a corner kick for City. Kai taking the corner kick for City. Signal given. 2 steps. Ball up, bending, crossed. Ooh! And shot by Brock. And he skied it over the top crossbar. It'll be goal kick for White. UDA kicks it high to the left-hand side, headed down by Jmo. Jmo to Kai. Kai to Brock's shot. Stopped at the feet by Sebas. Sebas with the shot. And yeeted out over the right-hand side for White. Jex challenging. White gets the ball away. Headed down. from Josh to Sebastian to Tate. Tate to the top of the circle, swings it on the left-hand side over to Jason. Jason back to Tate. Tate to Jason, moving farther up. Jason back to Tate. Tate to Josh, unable to keep it in bounds. White throw in. White thrown in front of the blue bench. Inside the attacking third. Josh will play that softly over to Jmo. Jmo a few yards inside the box. Switches the field over to Eli. Eli to Caleb. Caleb challenged. Caleb winning. And foul called against White. Jmo. Tate. Tate. Eli. Eli. Jmo. Jmo. Josh. Josh to Kai. Kai plays it back all the way to Jake. Ball wide left to Josh. Josh up the center to Sebas. Sebas to Josh. Josh left-footed on the ground, trying to get to Brock Alleman. Brock trying to hit Tate. Too much mustard, and it will be scooped up by the UDA keeper. Nice touch there by White. Top of the middle third, plays it in the center. And Jmo is able to clear that ball out to the left-hand side. It will be White throw in deep in their attacking third. Ball thrown down. Caleb with the stuff. Caleb flicks it up over to Sebas. Sebas brings it into the center. Plays it wide left over to Jason. Jason just before midfield. Plays it wide left, trying to get over to Brock Alleman. Tackled and recovered by White. Sebas intercepts the ball. Plays it back to Josh. Josh to Jason. Back to Josh. Josh to Tate. Tate gets the ball over to Jmo. Jmo moving up past midfield, gets it to Kai. Now on the same page, and it's cleared out of bounds by White. It'll be blue throw-in. And it looks like there's going to be a couple of substitutes here for City. Brock coming on for Josh. Caleb coming out. Will coming on. Eli waiting to throw the ball in. Top of the middle third, right-hand side. Ball thrown back to Rhodes. Rhodes swings the ball over to the left-hand side, over to Jason, to Tate. Tate chips the ball up over the right-hand side, almost headed down, brought down by Kai. Kai shoots on the left, goes just wide left. In the waning minutes of the first half, City trailing by a goal. White with a goal kick. Kicked up high past midfield on the left-hand side, headed over into the center. And that ball is going to roll to the feet of Jake to Tate. Tate to Jason. Jason to Tate. Tate swings the ball over to the right-hand side, over to Rhodes. Rhodes to Kai. Kai to Eli. Eli to Rhodes. Rhodes to Jmo. To Sebastian, to Tate. Tate chipping the ball up on the right-hand side. He's going to connect with Eli. Eli puts it in the center to Kai. Kai trying to get to Sebastian. Sebastian settles the down shot, and it goes. And the ref is going to consult with the AR. Let's zoom on this. Ref consulting. And it looks like no goal called. Ball back in play for White. Jason with his right thigh getting it over to Jex, who keeps it in bounds to Jason. Jason past midfield on the left-hand side, chips it up, trying to get to Brock Alleman. Brock moves past on the left-hand side inside the box, stuffed and tackled away, and corner kick. Corner kick awarded to City. It looks like it is going to be Kai taking it. UDA wanting a yellow card for Brock stripping the ball out of the hands. Here's the kick. Bending over, punch down. Tate trying to bring it over to Will. Will shoots, headed by Brock. Ball flung over and foul called against Tate. It will be White free kick. Ball kicked up high to the right-hand side, brought down. White will be the first ones there. Jason on defense, he toes it away, gets it to the feet of Jex. Jex with a long pass to himself on the left-hand side. Looking across, he gets it into the arms on the against the right post. Ball over to the right-hand side for White. White kicks the ball up, cleared away by Jmo. And Jason challenge. White will emerge with the ball. White brings the ball down, top of the circle, middle, over now to the right-hand side. Taking on Jmo. Jmo in the corner, looking to stop. Jex getting in on it. Ball rolls out of bounds. The call is blue throw-in. Jason to Jmo. Jmo plays it back to Jake. Jake to Tate. Tate. Bottom of the middle third. Slows the pace down. Plays it over the left-hand side over to Jason. Jason to Tate. Tate winds up, chips it over to the right-hand side, trying to get over to Will. It's played over to the right, and it rolls in, cleared out by White. Will, oh, almost. And Jmo brings that ball down, heads it over to Sebastian. Sebastian shimmies, keeps the ball, gets it over to Eli. Eli to Kai. Kai feigns a pass, plays it over to Tate. Tate to the bottom of the circle on the left-hand side, plays it wide left over to Jason. Jason to Kai. Kai to Jason. Jason chips it up, looking for Sebastian. Sebastian chips it down, and a handball called against Sebastian. Quickly cleared over to the right-hand side for White. Ooh. Cleared out by Jason. Brought down by Jex. And that is the half. City down 1-0.